buttermilk Parmesan pepper biscuits with a chorizo gravy. It's gonna be out of this world. So, like I said today, buttermilk Parmesan pepper biscuits. We're making a chorizo cream gravy with it, and we're gonna put an egg on the top of it. It's gonna be extraordinary. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start with making our biscuits. We're gonna make them from scratch, and they're super easy to make. Let's get into it. Okay, so we're gonna start today with real basic ingredients for our buttermilk biscuits. We're gonna start with 4 cups of all-purpose flour. We're gonna add 1 cup of freshly grated Parmesan cheese, 4 teaspoons of baking powder, 3 tablespoons of freshly ground pepper, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, just a pinch of kosher salt, and about 2 teaspoons of sugar. Now, again, you don't need the sugar to make this sweet. That's not what we're trying to do. Just adds a little bit of, helps it brown, makes it look a little better when it comes out of the oven. So once we get to this point, we're gonna just stir these dry ingredients together here. Using gloves just makes it easier for cleanup. Once you have your dry ingredients all mixed together, we're gonna add our butter. Now, the key with making buttermilk biscuits are really flaky is to use frozen butter. We're gonna be using a cube and a half of frozen unsalted butter. So it's about 3/4 of a cup. So you're gonna use your box grater and just use the largest setting you have on it to grate the butter. And just grate it just like you're just grating cheese. Grate it right into your dry ingredients. Okay, now we're gonna just take this butter and just lightly fold it in. Being frozen is exactly how you wanna do it. Keeps it from melting together, separate, and it'll fill all those little holes within the biscuit with just with butter, so it's just perfect. So our last ingredient is going to be whole buttermilk, and we're going to add just under 2 cups, so about 1 3/4 cups. Okay, now what I typically do is just take a fork and just kind of mix this together. And again, it's gonna look a little bit dry. That's exactly how you want it to be. And once we get to a little bit better consistency here, we'll start kind of just kneading the dough together. But again, you don't wanna do a lot of kneading of this dough. That's what keeps it flaky. Just lightly kneading it is all you need to do. You'll get really good layers of flake on your biscuit. Now what we'll do is we'll just take this and we'll just lightly fold it over just to get everything mixed together. Make sure we get all that flour and buttermilk mixed in there. And once you have that level of consistency, we're going to add a little bit of flour to our cutting board here. We'll transfer our biscuits to this. We'll go ahead and start kneading this together. And what we're going to do is just knead this lightly together. And what we're going to do is make a square. Now, the biscuits I'm going to make today are going to be square versus round. You just have less scraps that way. And again, the scraps never come out as good as just the first cut. So it's just better to make square biscuits for me. I prefer them. So again, what we're going to do is just kind of take and make a square out of this dough. We'll take our dough cutter here to kind of help us square this off. And once you have your square here, and you want this about 1 inch thick, once you have your square shape here, you're going to cut this into quarters. Like this. Okay. Now we're going to take those quarters and we're going to stack them right on top of one another. There we go. Now we're going to again push these 4 layers down into again another square, and then we're going to roll this out into our finished dough. So we'll take our rolling pin here, and again we're looking to get this about 1 inch thick and as close to a squarish rectangle as we can get. And again, if you get some edges that are not quite square, it's not a problem. You can even cut them off and just put the dough right back on the top. And again, you should be left with something that looks a little bit like this, just a nice little square. Take a knife, and we'll start by cutting this way. Then a second cut here, and then right across here. Let's cut that off. We'll put that on the end. We'll take our biscuits, place them on the cookie sheet. And this should yield about a dozen biscuits. And there we go. And we'll save that for the second cook here. We're going to take our biscuits and we're going to put those into the Weber smoke fire at 400 degrees for about 18 minutes. And while those are cooking, we'll start making our gravy. Okay, so we're going to make our chorizo gravy now. So first we've got a skillet here. We'll put a little bit of oil. We're going to add our pork chorizo. We're going to add 1 pound. Okay. And we're just going to have to let this cook for just a couple minutes, probably about 10 minutes or so, because again, it's raw, so it needs to be fully cooked before we take it off. And then we're going to add some cream to this and finish it up. Okay, so now that we have our chorizo just about fully done here, I'm going to add just about 3 tablespoons of just all-purpose flour to get a little, thicken it up a little bit and basically make a roux. Now you can add a little more or a little less, just depends on what you know how thick you want the gravy to be. Because remember, we're going to add some cream in here as well. So, okay, it's going to thicken up nicely for us. Okay, now we're going to add about 1.5 cups of heavy whipping cream. I add about half of it at first and then go back and add a little more just to make sure I get the right consistency. Again, totally up to you. There's no right or wrong amount here, depending on how thick you want the gravy to be. And that's looking very good. Okay, and once you get the consistency you're looking for with the flour, obviously, and the buttermilk, you can put it on the cool side of your grill here and just let this hang out here until the biscuits are done. And they're going to be done just in a couple minutes here, and then we'll go ahead and plate this and add that egg to the top. Okay, so our biscuits are done, so we're going to take them out of the smoke fire here. All right. We're going to go ahead and put these up here, and we're going to go ahead and plate them. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add an egg, like I mentioned on the top here. So it's just a nice little way to kind of finish it off. So we're going to take a little bit of avocado oil, pour it on our grill here. This is a great way to get just a simple, over-easy egg, and it's quick. Take our egg, we're going to break it into here. There we go. This is not going to take long at all to cook. This is at basically low to medium heat. Anything will start getting brown on the outside of the white of the egg. If you want that, again, totally up to you. I just want it to be clean without any of those darker markings. So we're going to let it cook, and we'll get a little bit more cook here, and then we'll go ahead and cover it with a little bit of water and get some steaming going on. 90 seconds later, this thing is going to be done, and we'll plate up our biscuits and gravy. So we're going to go ahead and put a little bit of water on this, and then we're going to put the cover on it, and we're going to let it steam for just about 90 seconds, and it'll be done. A little bit of water, cover. And while we're doing that, we're letting our biscuits cool a little bit here on the rack. We'll be ready to plate this. Okay, so our egg is done. Let's go ahead and plate this and finish it up here. So I'm going to take a couple of our biscuits here. You can just see how flaky they are, just layer after layer. Put a couple of them here. Now we'll take some of that gravy we made, and we're going to just drizzle that gravy right over the top of this. And then, last but not least, I'm going to put the egg over the top of that. I'm going to put this egg we'll put it right here on top, just like that. Okay, and this looks amazing. So we're going to go ahead and just lance this egg a little bit. Let some of that juice come down. It's exactly how this should look. So simple to make, so easy and quick. Okay guys, and that's it. Real simple to make. Again, a Southern classic with a little bit of a twist on it. Cream gravy, that Parmesan, that pepper biscuit with the buttermilk is just perfect. And so let's give it a taste and see how this came out. Oh wow, that is really good. That bite of the pepper that's in the biscuits, that's a little bit of a bite within the biscuit, and then that heat from the chorizo gravy, all kind of balanced out by the cream that we put in there as well, and the egg on top just finishes it off, just that creaminess at the end. Something so easy to make. You can make this on the weekend, much cheaper than getting this from someplace, takeout place. Real easy, really simple, and this can feed your whole family. So guys, if you have any questions on the measurements, the ingredients, everything is down below in the description, as well as all the equipment we used today. Hope you liked this video. If you did, please hit that like button for us and subscribe to our channel. Also hit the post notification bell so you get notified whenever we put up a new video, which is once a week. You can also follow us on any of our social media channels listed above, and we look forward to having more videos for you. And again, with IQ Barbecue, it's a smarter way to cook.